Okay, let's dive in. We're seeing this massive architectural shift happening right now in digital workflows.
Hmm.
We're moving away from that, very linear rule-based model, the old if this, then that.
Right, deterministic automation.
Exactly. And we're jumping headfirst into what you could call uh, probabilistic agency.
That's a great way to put it. It's really the difference between following a strict recipe and just having a goal.
A recipe versus a goal. I like that.
Yeah, deterministic is the recipe. It follows the steps perfectly. But probabilistic agency, you give it a goal, like find the cheapest way to send this package,
Yeah.
and the system itself figures out how.
It finds its own path.
Right.
So the real mission for you, the learner, is figuring out which platforms actually teach you to think that way.
And which ones let you do it without, breaking the bank?
Okay, so let's start with the builder's workbench. Let's talk about NA10,
And yeah, this is where you go for real engineering depth. The big thing is that you can self-host it.
which is huge.
It completely decouples learning from spending. You're not paying for executions.
That freedom is foundational. I mean, you can run a loop
Yeah.
over 50,000 items just to debug it and not have that nagging fear of a huge bill.
And it doesn't hide the messy parts. It shows you the raw JSON, the HTTP requests, the fundamentals.
But if Annie is showing you all that raw code, doesn't that make the initial learning curve, a bit steeper?
It can, yeah, but that transparency is its real strength for anyone serious about this. It forces you to understand what's actually happening under the hood.
And if you hit a wall, there's always the code node.
The ultimate escape hatch. It bridges that gap between low code and pro code for things like custom security hashing or parsing weird data buffers that a standard node just can't handle.
Okay, so if N8N is the architect sandbox,
Yeah.
what about the big, polished SaaS tools? What about something like Zapier?
Well, Zapier is the market leader for a reason. I mean, over 8,000 integrations. The breadth is incredible.
But it has a major weakness, at least from a learning perspective.
The task economy.
Exactly. Every single action, every step in your workflow eats a credit. If you're a student trying to debug a complex loop, you could burn through your free tier in minutes.
It makes iteration really expensive. Why pay for that friction when you're just trying to figure things out?
So that's where something like Make.com fits in.
Yeah, Make.com, which used to be Integromat, is kind of the ideal starting point. It natively supports nonlinear logic with its router module.
And the visual feedback is amazing. You can literally watch the data bundles move through the scenario.
And critically, they have an academic alliance. That often gives students free professional tier access, so the cost barrier just disappears.
Right. It lets you master complex logic without punishing your usage.
So we have the tools for execution. We have NAN for depth, make for accessible learning. The next piece of the puzzle is the intelligence.
The brain. This is where we shift to concepts like Claude Skills and the Model Context Protocol, or MCP.
Exactly. This is the future architecture.
So let's unpack Claude Skills. You can think of them as, procedural memory?
That's a perfect analogy. They're like prepackaged instructions, often just in a simple skill.md file that the model can pull up when it needs them.
So it's not making things up on the fly.
No, it's using a validated, efficient, and reliable procedure. It reduces the cognitive load on the LLM and, prevents hallucinations.
And the MCP is the standard that lets the AI talk to these external
The
tools.
open standard, yeah. It formalizes that connection. It creates a standardized contract for that interaction.
Which allows for this really powerful hybrid intelligence.
Precisely. You can have Claude handle the high-level reasoning, the what to do, and then it calls an NAN workflow, acting as an MCP tool, to handle this secure deterministic execution, the how to do it.
So for you listening to this, what does it all mean? It means no single platform is the finish line. Mastery is really about synthesis.
Absolutely. Think about it. A professional who really understands NAN for robust, transparent execution and Claude MCP for the intelligence architecture, they're future-proof.
Because the specific tools will always change.
The tools will always change. But the fundamentals, HTTP, JSON, and probabilistic reasoning, those are the enduring pillars.